8 Mi'kmaq communities are taking the New Brunswick and federal governments to court. They claim their ancestral lands and waters were developed without their consent. The Mi'kmaq filed a statement of claims seeking compensation after negotiations failed. They also want to be part of any decision-making process around future development in their territory. Chief Terry Richardson of the Pabonneau Mi'kmaq Nation explains what this lawsuit means to the Mi'kmaq and citizens of New Brunswick. Thank you for joining us, Chief Richardson. The land and water title claim is most of the province of New Brunswick. Why did talks with governments fail?
Well, Preston, I guess the simple answer to that is that what's happened is the government refuses to come to the table and negotiate. You know, there's always two routes to go in solving a problem: litigation and negotiation. And this province, and in the province of New Brunswick, we're very unfortunate. We have a government that refuses to negotiate with First Nations. So we've been led down the road of litigation, which is very, very unfortunate.
I'm sorry to hear that. The spokesperson for New Brunswick's Premier, Blaine Higgs, told APTN News the Mi'kmaq had preconditions to negotiations and that they would not waver. What were those preconditions, and is that what led to filing this lawsuit?
Well, you know, we tried to get to the table. We've been trying to talk with them since April. We've said, you know, let's come to the table and let's negotiate and have these talks. As you're probably aware, the Wolastoqey of New Brunswick have already filed their claim in advance of our claim, and we took a different approach of trying to negotiate with this province. 4 years I've been chief, unable to come to the table with this particular government, and it's very unfortunate because, again, they've led us down this road of litigation, and it's not good for anybody because it just creates bad feelings. It prevents investment in the province. It's not good for the province either, and it's not good for the taxpayers of New Brunswick. You know, they're going to be charged money here, and it's going to cost them money for lawyers, cost us money for lawyers, creates more bad feelings. So, you know, we did try. We didn't have any pre-agreements with them. We just wanted to get, you know, what we basically set out saying we want to say in what happens in the land and the resources in the province of New Brunswick.
Private properties such as homes and cottages are not included in the lawsuit like you were talking there, but do you know if the title claim impacts other private landowners?
It would not. You know, we're going after the Crown. That's who we brought to we're going to. It's their responsibility. At the end of the day, they're the ones who have actually given away this land. You know, we've signed peace and friendship treaties in the province of New Brunswick. That's what sets the standard. And the particular government in New Brunswick has never honored that. And so we're taking the government of New Brunswick to court. We're not taking particular landowners, but we haven't closed the door. We've said, you know, we're willing to sit at the table and negotiate, but again, this government refuses to do that.
What type of compensation are you and the other chiefs hoping for?
Well, you know what? We've had resources that have been taken away from this province for time immemorial, since we've been here. And we've watched industry, as one of my elders in one of our communities stated, we've watched industry pass us by, taking away these resources. At what benefit to First Nations? None, zero. So we were holding this government to account for that. I mean, you know, we have a government where they've come in with like a bull in a china cabinet. You know, they've come in and they've taken away our tax agreement that we had in the province of New Brunswick, which was one of the only things we had that was creating opportunity and economic growth. It was costing the province roughly about $75 million a year. We came with a solution to this government and said, let's cap it and let's allow our First Nations to grow economically. He refused to accept that. He basically axed it. Now here we are, you know, well, let's negotiate on the land side. Let's negotiate on resource development. Refuses to do that. So it's very difficult to work with a government that's unwilling to work with First Nations. And that's where we are in New Brunswick. We have a premier and this particular government that refuses to negotiate and come to the table with First Nations.
Any final thoughts or message to the province regarding this fight right now?
You know, I guess the message I would say is we've got to get on that range of negotiation. And right now, we're not on the range of negotiation with a premier and a government that is using the negotiate-told approach. They're telling us what it's going to be, and they're not willing to even get on that range of negotiation. So that's all we're asking. Come to the table. Let's negotiate. But if not, we're going to go to court. And if we go to court, it's going to be a long battle, going to create a lot of bad feelings, going to cost money to both sides. And then at the end of the day, you're going to go to the Supreme Court where they're going to tell you to return, you go to the table and negotiate. But why would we want to negotiate? you know, we're only going to have a harder stance when you negotiate if you're forced to negotiate. And we'll leave it to the courts if it comes down to that. And that's the reality of it. We have precedents that have been set. We look at what's happened in Ontario right now, where the land claim has been settled and is in the process of going through where they've been told, go back to the table and negotiate. It will only cost more in the long term and bad feelings. What we're looking for is let's work together. Let's get to the table, negotiate. And for the province of New Brunswick, that's what we're telling the people in the province of New Brunswick. We need a government that's willing to negotiate and work with people, not divide people.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for your time, Chief Richardson.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's your midday newscast for this Friday, August 9th. Our evening APTN National newscast with Dennis Ward will be in a few hours' time. Make sure to join us then for more news stories. From everyone at APTN National News, hi miigwech masicho. Thank you for watching.